Hey there, whippersnappers, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Pixelmon on the Decimon server. As always, I'm Tortimer the Grey, your host, and today I've got several things to catch you guys up on. We are back at Spawn right now. You guys last episode gave me some great feedback on where you thought I should be putting my gym, and so I want to take you guys out to the location that you guys selected. But I want to run you down through a couple of things that has happened since the last episode. You guys will see finally got some of my guys nicknamed here. You guys gave me a couple of good suggestions, and so I took a couple of those and put them into action here. And so you'll see that Swampert has been renamed Thwomp. So thank you very much for that suggestion. And Pidgeot has been named Caladrius. I'm probably just going to call him Cal. But Caladrius is a mythical bird of healing or something, or death. It's an omen when you're sick. So that was kind of cool. An interesting name for sure. So we still need nicknames for the Piloswine. I don't know if the Marowak's going to stay on the team or not. I just grabbed the Marowak because it could know False Swipe, and I'm trying to grind it up so that I can use it to help catch Pokemon. When we updated recently from 1.7.2 to 1.7.10, and some chickens spawned when we did that. So in this texture pack, they were colored to be P-Doves, so that's cool. But yeah, so since the last episode, I told you I was going to do some catching of Piloswines to have one ready for you guys when you showed up. And I did that, and I had found myself a nice, a perfect one, really. It was Adamant Nature, which is what I needed, and then it knew Ancient Power, so it could evolve into Mamoswine. And I think it even had a couple of other moves that I wanted on it. I think it at least had Ice Fang, which I know Ice Fang's not a great move, but with Mamoswine being a physical attacker, it's really the best ice move that Mamoswine has access to in this mod, because we don't have breeding or move relearners or anything like that. Typical Smogon sets suggest, use Icicle Spear and Icicle Crash, and so that's kind of what I had written down, but then I started looking into, what was possible in the mod, because I know it's very different. And Piloswine doesn't learn any of those moves. Neither does Mamoswine naturally, so they would all be move relearner or egg moves or stuff, and none of that's possible. So I had caught a great one, and then I went and let's go down to the mailroom real quick. And so I had one, and I was holding on to him, and you've got mail. Oh, it's my dome fossil. Oh, great. Somebody. Oh, and now I don't remember who it was. I think it was Skull, maybe, or Magnum. I don't remember. Somebody was trying to get rid of a Kabuto, a dome fossil last night, and nobody wanted it. And I was like, well, if nobody else wants it, I'll take it. I want to go look for my own fossils, but I figured I'd hold on to it, maybe give it to somebody as a gift or something at some point. But you'll see I've got tons of Piloswines in here. So I had this. This was my team. I was just wandering around, and I was in Spawn, and I saw Chikorita wandering around. I'm like, ooh, a starter. Awesome. So I caught it. But when I did so, Chikorita popped here, and then a Chikorita popped here. And I'm like, what? And I did all the tricks. I switched all my Pokemon around, put them in the PC, took them out, all this jazz, relogged everything. But the Chikorita had duplicated itself onto my Adamant Ancient Power knowing Piloswine. And I'll tell you what, it took me like a half stack of Pokeballs to catch the right Piloswine. I mean, I had to catch tons. I mean, you guys see, there's a bunch in here, and these are just the ones that I was keeping because maybe they could be useful. But alas, it overwrote my perfect Piloswine, and I was like, well, great. So I went back out there, and like a stack and a half of Pokeballs later worth of catching, because like I caught hundreds of them probably at this point. I found lots of adamant ones, but none that knew ancient power. And then pretty much these are a good representation. Not the ender chest. These are a pretty good representation of the ones I found, where like, and I mean this wouldn't have been bad, but I couldn't find anywhere where they were showing sets for Piloswines that were more defensive as opposed to attacking, and so I've got a lot of these, and maybe I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I really probably should have done, something that lowered special attack and raised one of their defenses. Just because, but I ended up, and maybe you guys let me know if that was dumb that I didn't, because now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, well, maybe I would want defenses raised. But what I ended up doing was I found a neutral natured one, and that seemed to be the best I could get. I couldn't get one that was a good, like a positive nature for the Piloswine. So I got this neutral natured one. Let's take a quick look. So it's a bashful nature, which is neutral. It knows Ancient Power, Ice Fang, Thrash, and then it learned Earthquake at 46. Well, I was supposed to learn Earthquake at 46, but it learned Earthquake. And so that's what I went with. I'm pretty much in the middle of EV training it right now. I did 252 in speed, so you can see its speed stat is much higher. I did 4 in defense, and I'm in the middle of doing attack. I think I've got like 50 points in attack right now. So started the EV training process, and it's pretty simple. I mean, I've never done it before, but it's not too bad. You just have to have your list up and know which Pokemon you can attack. Especially in like this spawn area, it's really easy because almost everything around here gives you speed EVs, and that's what I did first. So it was super easy. I mean, we've got all this water full of Magikarps, and each Magikarp is worth 1 speed EV. It would have been a lot easier if I'd had like a Power Anklet or something, but I have not found one yet. So Magikarps give speed EVs, Pidgeys give speed EVs, Rattatas and Raticates give speed EVs. In the forest, Pikachus and Raichus give speed EVs. Golbats and Zubats give speed EVs, so there's so much stuff around here to get speed EVs from, so that was a pretty easy chunk. So if you guys decide that, yeah, Tortimer, you're an idiot, you really should have been taking one that boosted something, as long as it didn't eliminate, something you wanted. So, like, Mamoswine's going to be definitely a physical attacker, so raising its defenses slightly and lowering special attack probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, now that I'm thinking about it. But it wouldn't have been worse than neutral, I guess, because we're still not getting the attack boosts and stuff here, as we're not getting it there. So yeah, that might have been dumb. Let me know. But anyway, that's our Piloswine, and that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, that happened. Our good Piloswine got overwritten, had to spend 100 more Pokeballs to get another one that I thought would be useful. And then there was also an instance where I was we updated to this most recent version of Pixelmon because we were having some issues with the last one. Just lots and lots of issues. So we decided to switch, see if it was the version, and everything seems to be running beautifully now. But there's a bug where if you log out of the server while on your mount, so you're flying around and you log out of the server, you won't be able to get back on the server again. Minecraft will crash. The full Minecraft, not the server. Minecraft will crash if you attempt to log into a server after you've logged out while on your mount. And so I accidentally did that. I wasn't even thinking. We updated, and I had started using, after last episode, a mini-map, just because it allowed you to set waypoints and stuff, and I was going all over the map, all these different locations and everything, so I was like, yeah, waypoints might not be a bad idea. Save me from having to use my, coordinates all the time. And so I'd started using that, and so when we updated 1.7 or 1.7.10, I was like, okay, well I need to go get a new one, but I had been flying around, and I just didn't even think about it because someone else had mentioned Meg, Weg Meg on the server, she had said that it had happened to her too, and so like I even knew that it was a. That's odd. I even knew that's what netherrack looks like in this texture pack. Isn't that awesome? Netherrack's normally disgusting, but that's pretty cool looking. So I even knew it was an issue, and I just wasn't thinking. I was just like quickly, oh, I'm gonna jump out and grab my a mini map mod. But and I still haven't done it. The ones I was looking for, I couldn't find one that was updated to 1.7.10, which is odd. It's been out for a while. Ooh, I found this while I was flying around. I was like, oh man, because somebody claimed this. Because I thought this might be kind of a cool area. Somebody suggested I do like a savanna type area. And there's some desert here that I was thinking about doing it in, but I didn't want to be super close to anybody. And I saw this, and I was like, oh man. But I went in here. This is the pre-generated Zapdos shrine. So for anybody who's watching, 1400 and is the X and 50 is the Y, and you'll find the Zapdos shrine here. I'm sure other people have found it, but yeah, it's cool. I hadn't seen that. I found the Articuno shrine. I had not found a Zapdos shrine, and so that's cool. But let's continue on to our new place. You guys said pretty unanimously that I should be building in the desert. You guys thought that it was a cool area, and you just thought that the desert biome kind of fit, ground types better than anything else. Because for the most part, ground types is, pretty much, ground types is pretty much what you find in desert. So it does fit for sure, and I think that was kind of the biome I was most excited about. The other ones made more sense in a certain sense, in that there was other things around there like Sableyes or Magnemites or whatever that would have been good for grinding. But somebody else pointed out that you could always just set up a temporary base out in one of those places and go back and forth to do your farming. You don't necessarily have to set up your whole thing out there. And I was like, you know what, that's a really good idea. Ooh, for alligator. That's fun. All right, I gotta check my chords. Where are we? Okay, so we've got to go. Nope, not this way. Here we go. I always fly past it. I never go far enough south when I'm heading this way. But yeah, so you guys seem to like the desert. Well, not really, unfortunately, but the desert I showed you guys in the last episode, that kind of had just that one lonely mountain. It was kind of a small desert. That one is got claimed since the last episode, and which is totally fine. I did not put any claims on anything because I wanted to wait and see what you guys said. But I recorded that episode a couple of days, maybe a week before it went up, and so yeah, I mean somebody claimed that one. But in my travels for the snowy biomes, come on, where it should be no, I need the Z going up still. Come on, here we go. So in my travels for the ice biomes and stuff, I did find a much bigger desert. As you see, we've been flying over desert for a while here. Here we go. Here's my area. And so I remembered, oh, there's other deserts around. I'll go do one of those. And I found this spot which I actually love way more than the other one. So it'll be perfect. And I think it's Magnum Wolf is out in the desert I was looking at. And what he's building looks awesome. So I'm glad that he took that spot. And forced me to come look at this one. But yeah, so this is the spot I've claimed. I've kind of started laying out what I'm thinking about here. But doesn't this mountain just look amazing? I love the look of this thing. It's just so cool. And so I lit up the area so people would know this is claimed. I need to do some more lighting up just on the back of the hill, and because I really don't want anything like anywhere around here. It's a very cool. Let me get back on Caldrius real quick. It's a very cool place out here. Let me turn this. I mean, it's a huge desert for one. It's like a deserty hills kind of area. There's this river that runs through here. There's all kinds of cool desert on this side. I was actually trying to decide between this hill and this little one here. But the one I picked is going to be awesome. There is a little bit of savanna there, so we'll be able to get some cool Pokemon. I believe we mentioned last time that the Rhyhorn, we want to get a Rhyhorn for the team. I think in the way they've updated biomes and everything, I think they've kind of made the savanna the Safari Zone biome. So I think we should be able to find Rhyhorns out here at some point. But I've got to double check that because I know previously they were Extreme Hills exclusive, so we'll see. But yeah, it's just such a cool place out here. I love the landscape, and so I want to do a bunch of really cool things out here. So yeah, I got to light it up a little bit more. For the most part, I don't think people are going to build right on top of each other. I mean, if they see a claimed area, they're not going to be like, oh, well, it's dark right here, so I can claim it. But I want to get it lit up just so people know. But yeah, so this is the gym location. This is where it's going to be. So I want you to keep this guy in mind here. Well, let me get my Dugtrio in mind because I mentioned to you guys last time I wanted to do kind of a let me close that for now. It's taking up half the screen. I want to do kind of a Cave of Wonders kind of thing with this. I started playing around in creative and I started building a lion head because that's what the Cave of Wonders is. I wanted to go do my interpretation of that. But then I remembered, I'm not really that great of a builder. Like, I'm functional for, things that are within my comfort zone, but going outside of my comfort zone, it really doesn't work very well. And so the thing was just turning out terrible. And I looked online, and there was only a couple of, people who had ever really, posted anything about, Minecraft-y Cave of Wonders stuff. And so there wasn't really a whole lot of examples for me to look from. And just looking at the Aladdin screen caps, it wasn't really enough to get me where I wanted to be. So I was like, you know what, I need to get something that's more in my comfort zone, something that's not going to look terrible. I'd rather have something that looked cool and was in my comfort zone than try and make something look cool that was outside of my comfort zone and have it fail. Which is not a greatest life philosophy. You shouldn't be like, just don't try. But yeah. So I decided, I'm like, well, I want something Pokemon-y. This is a Pokemon server. I can do stupid regular builds anytime I want. Let's do something Pokemon. So I was flipping through, a list of... flipping through it because it was on my phone and I had to scroll a lot, but a list of all the ground-type Pokemon. And, I settled on, I'm not going to have one on my team, but I settled on, I want to do a Dugtrio. And so... this is kind of what the surface of our gym is going to look like, at least. Because like Dugtrio, the real meat's going to be underneath. And so, of course, nobody knows what's underneath a Dugtrio, but that's part of the mystery. So, I had this hill all picked out anyway, and I was throwing around a couple of ideas on what I could do, but I settled on, we're going to do a Dugtrio Cave of Wonders design. So let me show you. I've started laying out some of them. So Dugtrio is a three-headed, thing. So I'm going to have one head here. And I've started laying out the outline. It's not going to be dirt. I'm going to build it out of sandstone, I think. But I'm just laying it out in dirt so I can see it clearly. And so it's going to be I think it's a 13 radius, a 13 diameter circle. And so it's a pretty good size. I think it'll look great. So I've got one here, which is going to be the little head, as is with the normal Dugtrio. And then the mouth will be open here, and it'll be stairs that take you down into the gym. So kind of just like the Cave of Wonders, the same kind of idea, but Pokemon-y. So I've got one head there, and I've kind of scattered them around. In fact, let me... Oop, sorry, Thwomp, don't need you. Let's get Cal out. So... F1, there we go. So kind of, scattered it around here. So I've got one here. I'm going to put one kind of up in this little, behind this hill in this divot here. And then I haven't started laying out the circle yet, but the other one is going to be kind of right here. So scattered in height and scattered both vertically and horizontally I think it'll look good. I think it'll look really cool, them kind of coming out of this hill. I think I've got to move this one on the left over a little more left so that they don't overlap a ton. Because I just don't want them to feel too cramped. I've got this big hill. I may even move the one on the right over a little bit. Although they don't overlap too much. I mean, a little bit of overlap's not bad. So that might be fine there. But I think I want to move this one over a little bit. But yeah, so this is where the gym's going. And I'm very excited about it. Thank you guys for all your feedback on last episode. I want to today... I think we'll get into building more next episode. I don't really want to get into that just yet. And there's going to be multi-steps to this gym, because we've got this on the surface, but that's mainly just decorative for the most part. The real meat of the gym, where the arena and everything is going to be underground, because we're a ground-type gym. So I figured underground would be perfect. And we'll have this awesome thing on the surface, and it does look really cool. I built it in creative, and it does. I mean, it's not super complex. It's not a real fancy build. But it looks really cool, and I haven't got to build it in this landscape yet because they hold the seed pretty tight to the chest. They don't want people scouting out all the good stuff and everything, which makes sense. So I can't do creative on this terrain, but I built a creative world with a desert near the spawn point. And have been doing some building in that, and it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. So we'll get going on this next time, I think. What I'd like to do is we've got this pile of swine. So he's on the team for sure for the gym. Well, a pile of swine is on the gym team for sure. If you do come back and are like, no, dude, you need to take the other one, the impish one or whatever. Because I'm definitely not going to go catch more Mamoswines. That's just not going to happen. But I do have. So I've got a lonely one. I don't want this one because that lowers defense. I definitely don't want to lower defense. This one boosts speed and lowers special attack. So jolly. It doesn't know Ice Fang though, which is the reason I discounted this one. Because I was considering Adamant or Jolly is what I was going for, but it didn't have Ice Fang. And really, I don't know how many of these do. This one does. What's this one? Oh, but this one doesn't have Ancient Power. Which one was this one? Okay, well, this one just needs to get dumped. Yeah, if it doesn't have... Okay, so Ancient Power, Ice Fang. Oh, this one lowers attack. Definitely can't do this one. Raises special defense. No. Nope. This one's got to go. This one doesn't have Ice Fang either. So honestly, I'm not doing this one either because Ice Fang really is the best attacking ice move I can get. Careful. So I think we probably are stuck with the one that we've got. But if I find one in here, let me... No, it doesn't have Ice Fang. Raises defense, lower special attack. Icy Wind. Yeah, so I think I did consider that, I guess, but none of these really had any moves that would be useful. Yeah, here's another jolly one. So never mind. We are stuck with our with our Mamoswine. Because I went through like 2 stacks of I went through so many Pokeballs catching these stupid Mamoswines. Yeah, no, okay, never mind. So this is our Piloswine. Neutral nature with good attacks is better than, especially since I'm almost done EV training this stupid thing. So anyway, disregard any comments about picking a new Piloswine. This is the one we're using, but it'll be good. EV trained, it'll still be good. But today, since we're in our desert here, there is a couple of Pokemon that I would like to get that are in the desert. It wasn't on my original list, but because I kind of forgot about it, or Flygon's really not that great. But I'm trying to get all the dual type ground types I can get. At least one type. So I've picked out like one ground rock Pokemon that I'm going to use, which is going to be Hyperior as opposed to like Onyx or something. But if they add Steelix to the game, then we'll get a Steelix. But so Trapinch is going to be ground dragon, so I'll need to get one of those at some point. But the one that I do know is on my list is Numel, and they're all over the place. So let's try and find a Numel here, and this should be much easier. Oop, Caladrius, that's not really what I wanted to do. Let's get Marowak out here. Use Flame Burst. Let's go for Bone. Oop. Oh, beautiful. Alright. And let's go for the Ultra Ball. So this should be easier because, you know, I found plenty of adamant Piloswines, well, at least a couple. But I didn't find any that had Ancient Power. So that's going to be a challenge. So this one's Jolly. That lowers, so that's not going to work. Decent moves, though. So that won't work. Let's find, there was another one over here. What we need in Numel is going to be a modest-natured Numel. So I'm going to cut, and I'll bring you guys back when I find another one, because they may only spawn during the day, and it just turned night. So I will see you guys again in just a second. Alright guys, welcome back. We are here. We found another Numel. Let's catch it and see what kind of nature it's going to have. Come on. Captured Numel. Awesome. Let's take a quick look at him. Impish nature, which raises defense, lowers special attack. Well, that won't work. We need, again, pretty decent moves. We need one. Ooh. Hey, Dugtrio. Oh, Thwomp can handle this. We need one that can. I'm sorry, words. We need one that'll be a good special attacker, because we don't really have a lot of. And False Swipe is such a weak move. We don't really have a lot of special attackers in our list. A lot of ground type Pokemon, because of Earthquake, are special attackers, or physical attackers rather. So we only have a handful of Pokemon that have access to us, or that we have access to rather. Wow, that would fall into the special attacking areas. Raises attack or special defense. Nope, that won't work. So we definitely need to make sure that this one. Gosh darn it, Diglett. I am sorry, my throat. It's early in the morning. So we definitely need to make sure that this one, at the very least, is going to be. Not sure why my X popped out there. Is going to be. A special attacker. It needs to have the modest nature. It's just it's necessary. So let me. I'm gonna cut. Oop, because I keep getting captured by people. There we go. I'm gonna cut real quick, and I will bring you guys back when I have found one, and then you guys will get to enjoy the advent of our newest teammate with me. So I will see you guys back in just a second. Alright guys, I was wandering around looking for, what am I looking for? Numels. And I ended up finding, I don't know if you are going to be able to see him down there. Yeah, see that big guy? It's a big red boss Sandshrew. And Thwomp should be able to handle him pretty easily, so I figured we would come in and take him out, see what kind of loot we got. Oh yeah, 2-hit KO, fantastic. Thwomp to 59. Alright, so what do we got? We got Embargo, which is crap. An Orb, which will be useful. We fill these up by defeating Pokemon with it on your bar, and it fills up. It's like an Orb of Souls, and then you put it into like the Zapdos Shrine we saw earlier, and it summons Zapdos. So that's kind of cool. I haven't gotten one yet. They're not super uncommon. I just haven't seen lots of bosses. Ultra Ball, which will be useful enough, and Aluminum Hammer, which is crap. So that's too bad. I was hoping for something better from a red boss, but that's okay. Oh, it's a Samurott out there. All right. So I've caught a bunch of them. Nothing's really worked yet. I'd love to get one of these lower level guys because then I can, I can determine what moves they learn and everything as well. So that'll be cool. But yeah, still looking. Just figured I'd bring you guys back in for that boss battle. I will see you guys again in a second. Welcome back, guys, real quick. This has nothing to do with anything, but look how freaking huge this Magmar is. He's got to be enormous. I'm trying to catch him here real quick. He's probably going to kill Marowak before Marowak gets to do anything real useful to him, but it would be nice if he didn't. Come, Marowak, you gotta hit the Magmar. No. This thing is just too huge. I don't know that I want it, but somebody will want it. So we'll try that. Why is Pidgeot? Come on. You weren't out when the smoke screens got put up. Your accuracy shouldn't be. There we go. Let's just try the Ultra Ball here. Still catching Numels. Well, there we go. We captured him. Alright, so let's take a quick look at him. He's gotta be enormous. Yeah, enormous. Yep. He is big. Let's go. Oh, Magmar. Please. You see this guy I just caught? Alright, let's take a quick look at him. But he's massive. Look at this. Oh, I don't even care if his nature sucks. He's the one we're going to use one of our Magmortars on, or Magmarizers. Anyway, okay, I won't bring you guys back again until I have a modest Numel, I promise. And then we'll end for the day. Alright, see you in a second. Alright guys, we did it. We finally got ourselves a modest Numel. Let's take a quick look. Not real good moves at this point, but it's a little bit of a lower level one, so we can certainly get some good moves on it by the time that we'll be using it. But it is a modest nature, alright? It's a huge one, so that'll be cool. Big Camerupt. Lowers attack, raises special attack. So it took me quite a while. I had like 30 Ultra Balls when we started this whole ordeal, give or take. And now I'm down to 3. So it took quite a few. And I had gotten a Pokeball off of a boss, a net ball that I used, and I used a Dusk Ball or 2. So yeah, it took a while. Even though we only needed the one thing to be right. But yeah, so here's our Numel, a little girl. So we've got a male Piloswine and a female Numel. And so yeah, let me know if you guys have any cool nicknames for those guys. Those two are going to be on the team for the gym team. And yeah, next time we'll talk more about the gym team, and we'll I'll probably have gotten going on the gym a little bit. Let me fly back over there real quick to say goodbye to you guys. I was able to sleep through the night previously, but then people started logging on, so I wasn't able to sleep through nights anymore to get to the day, and so I had to. I started working a little bit on the gym, nothing real crazy. Started laying in the full outlines for some of them and things like that. So yeah, coming along. I started doing. I can't see it. Started doing the third one and everything. So I think it might be too close to this one. I'm laying in the full circle of each to make sure they're not going to like intersect, because I want them to be. I want them to like overlap, but I don't want them to intersect, like physically touch. So I got to figure that out. But yeah, so I'll probably have got going on one of these at least by next time, and then we will talk more in depth about the gym team and what we're going to be looking for and all that. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been Torm with the Grain. You guys have been great. Thanks for sticking through this little updatey video. And yeah, our team is going good so far. We've got 2 of the Pokemon we need. And so we've got a bunch more to go, but we'll talk more about that next time. Anyway, as always, I've been Torm with the Grain. You guys have been great. Leave those likes, comments, and subscriptions, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.